Here in Tennessee, we are officially less than a month away from our final frost date, which means it's go time, right? It's time that we're really close to getting our meat chickens. About the same time, we'll be trying to get the garden planted. Shortly after that, we'll be getting all of our laying hens in as well. And of course, we've got the pigs who are now out on pasture and having to be moved about every, week and some change. So it's a lot going on. That said, one of the things that I really wanted to do is to actually get my net up. So I'm going to actually surround my garden this year with one of my extra, I don't call it extra, but one of my electric poultry net. And that's to help keep some of the animals and stuff out. But the other reason right now is I really want to get the chickens back on the garden again now that it's tilled and turned. And now that I've got some of my compost bedding from their coops out in here, I want to get those guys back in the mobile coop, get them on the garden, and give them as much time as possible to help kind of till it up a little bit. Truth is though, this really just kind of highlights the challenges of working full-time and also trying to kick off a homestead and taking on a lot of stuff all at once. As you can see, I haven't quite mastered these poultry nets yet, and to be honest, if I buy more, which I did, I won't buy 164 feet of them. I will buy them in either 50 or 100 foot sections so they're easier to manage. These are just heavy enough that it makes it cumbersome. But now that I've kind of got it sorted, I think we're on a good track. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished. And then the next thing I need to do is actually work on getting the chickens back into our mobile coop, into our chickshaw, and eventually getting them rolled over here and put in. I don't actually know when that's going to be, because the next couple of days are all nasty and disgusting, just like today, and I really wanted to wait until it was, a little bit nicer out, but I think ultimately we're just going to have to do what we got to do. What you doing there, Twinkle? What you doing, buddy? Good day? Yeah. Come say hello. Alright, so I got the net up. Again, sorry for the wind. I gotta grab a few posts to put in the corners. As you can see, the corners are all a little bit crazy. But we'll get some corner posts put up, and then hopefully in the next day or two, get the chickens in there. Get them to work. Hopefully they'll knock out the rest of that grass, spread out their manure, and flatten out the ground a little bit, and then we'll be ready for spring. Now, speaking of getting ready for spring, another thing that needs to be done soon is our seed starts getting really close to needing to be transplanted. And I think the bell peppers, because they're slow, they'll probably be fine until we go straight to ground with those. But a lot of the tomatoes, they really are going to probably need to be thinned out and transplanted into bigger spots. And if I am going to try to sell some of those, I got to do that soon. What's up, guys? What are you doing up there? What's up, Mr. T? What's up, big boy? Hey there, ladies. So I did finally do something to make my life easier. Every morning and every evening, I'm running back and forth to my garage from the house and bringing food out here, and bringing water out here, and doing all the stuff, and it's all being stored in my garage. And for any like large amounts, it's still gonna have to be stored in my garage because it's the only place that's covered and out of the weather that's large enough to handle it. But I finally made use of that toolbox that blew onto my property. Since nobody claimed it and I couldn't find who owned it, we found a use for it. So I've got this little room here on the side of my shed, which I don't think I've ever actually shown on video. And it's got a little bit of storage room in here, and it's covered and it's out of the weather. So the nice thing is my overflow feed is in this container and it's out of the way. I've also got the toolbox here, which I found that the piston's missing and it's bent and it doesn't latch, and it was probably, I'm assuming it was probably getting ready to be junked. But all of our extra stuff in here, our diatomaceous chasseur, the chicken grit, the bags of feed, all that stuff's in here. And then last but not least, the trash can, which has all the pig feed in it. Now, when I made that DIY chicken feeder to try to keep the pigs out, that didn't actually keep the pigs out, I actually mentioned that I didn't know exactly what purpose you'd have for these little caps. But I think I found the purpose. These actually seal it up and keep the mice out. Figure while I'm out here, might as well go ahead and bring the pigs some food. Because that's actually something else I've got to do. And it's not really preparing for spring, just need to get the pigs moved again. It's about that time. So I've got about 2 more days before they've been in their spot for too long. And I don't want them being in there too long, because I don't want them to be exposed to, the manure and stuff any longer than is necessary. What's up, guys? You guys hungry? You're not gonna let me in? Here we go. So I've noticed a theme in my videos, constantly talking about, busyness, right? And, the older I've gotten and the more I pay attention to that, my definition of busy continues to change. In school, it was, well, I'm busy because I got a bunch of homework. And then in college, oh, well, I'm busy because I got a bunch more work and a little bit of actual work and, all the stuff you want to do piled on top. And, and fast forward, years into the future, and now I find that my definition of busy is, well, significantly more busy. And with all the animals and stuff we already have, and a full-time job, and 3 children, and this is supposed to not be the crazy busy time of the year, yet this feels like the calm before the storm. No pun intended. Good morning, ladies. What are we doing under here? Good morning to you too, Mr. T. How we doing, pretty bird? So some of my seed starts, they've got to get transplanted soon. I've got to get the chickens moved into their mobile coop soon, which we're going to try to work on a little bit today. And I've got a whole lot of other things that I'm just going to try to get, little stuff done, get the garden prepped, get the chickens ready. I've also got another animal coming to the farm soon. So we've got a lot of preparations to do. I got to get the pigs moved. So, and these are all just kind of maintenance items, right? But these are all things that just have to be kept up with. We also have less than a month before our meat birds get here, and this will be our first for us. One of the things I'm most eager to get done is actually getting the chickens back out on the garden plot. You know, the goal is originally to have them out there to, you know, kind of work the ground a little bit and, you know, fertilize it. But the reality is the ground was way too hard since it has never been worked before in that area, or at least not in a very, very long time. I did learn that it used to be a potato patch there where my house is, so I guess it's technically true that it was done a long time ago. But anyways, I want the chickens out there now that it's been tilled up and now that their old bedding is on it to help spread that out, smooth out the ground a little bit and work it, and also continue to fertilize it for about another month before we get ready to put plants in the ground. Now I do have a little maintenance I need to do on this. I forgot that when I put it up last year, one of the cleats for the door had come off. It's not very steep, wouldn't stop the chickens, but I want it to be right. And then also because that door is plywood, I need to probably, you know, paint it and put a little bit of glue to help keep those cleats on. So we're gonna do a little maintenance as well. The real trick is going to be actually getting them back in it. They haven't been in it in a few months now, and they're used to their old coops, so, or the stationary ones. So we'll have to figure out one evening to sneak them out and put them back in here. The good news is some of them are already checking it out. How you doing, ladies? What do you think? You guys will be moving back in here soon. Another thing we got to do today is it's moving day for the pigs. So last night I went ahead down and set up the fence posts so that we could get the next paddock set up for these guys, but it was too dark to shoot anything. So as you can see, just the other side we've got another paddock set up, and I'm actually going to shrink it down just a little bit because I find that this is just a little too much room, and then we're going to move these guys down today. Now this will be my second time moving and my third setup total with these things. This has been a money well spent. I'm very pleased with our extension cord reels for our electric polywire. Well, unfortunately I wasn't able to capture the whole move because my tripod couldn't stand up to the wind. But we got them moved. You can see where they were. Where they are. These guys always seem the happiest when they first move. But anyways, I gotta clean out the water dish and give them their water and apple cider vinegar. I'm also going to try to get my apple trees in the ground today, along with all of my chestnut trees, hopefully. Just got to find the right spot to plant them. And I'm thinking out here, nice and open, plenty of sun. And we've got, let's see, we've got Apple Crisp and Red Delicious. And hopefully in the coming years, I'll probably add more as we go. So following the directions, I'm gonna let it soak while I dig a hole for it. There's one done. And forgive me for not getting more video of this. It's just too windy, and I figure you'd rather just see the results as opposed to listening to wind noise. That is a problem I've been having quite a bit lately, where wild birds keep trying to bring stuff into my coops and build a nest in the back here for some reason. And I'm afraid they're gonna keep bringing, you know, pests and mites and things into my coops. So I just opened it up to add some more bedding, and that's back again. I'd probably knock that out about 4 times. On a positive though, look at that. That's not gonna be an issue for much longer anyway, since we're getting ready to move the chickens out to the mobile coop. And hopefully they'll stop laying eggs all over the place. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Anyways, the wind's getting worse, and I've got to go take care of the kids. So thanks for watching. See you next time.